Danny Healy-Rae.
Thank you very much, Les Concora. I suppose, Minister, I don't think changing the name of corporate enforcement will, I don't think it will help. But if more staff are going to be employed, properly trained in the role that they're supposed to carry out, I believe that would help. We all know what the banks did, Anglo-Irish Bank. I know fellas that cried, grown men, and the fellas in charge of it got away. Indeed, we all know what Bank of Ireland did, and AIB going back to when they advised their customers to put their money into overseas accounts. I know one man, he didn't do a day's good after that. And like, it should have been easy enough for someone to follow the pattern. I mean, a man from the wilds of Blackwater or Sneem or indeed Kilgarvan, they didn't all think of doing the same thing. They got the advice to do that. And they all suffered. They paid high penalties and their names were in the paper. And the bank got away with it because they gave the names. Anglo-Irish Bank got away with it. Indeed, the Bank of Ireland were no angels either, and we know that they're closing their outlets in different towns in Kerry, and we do not applaud that, because Minister will acknowledge that the government has a stake or a percentage of ownership in the both banks, and he should use it to ensure that a service is being given to the people, especially the people in rural Ireland. Indeed, Minister, farms are being sold at the present time without farmers actually knowing it, by vulture funds. And it is my contention, Minister, that this thing of the vulture funds is all wrong, because in the first place, the customer had a dealing with the bank. They never had a dealing with the vulture funds. Or they were never made aware that these vulture funds would be coming along with henchmen and sticks and mass on them to hide who they were and to threaten them to get out of their land and to get out of their houses. They were never made aware of that, Minister. And I think that these vulture funds have no right, even though they purchase something from the bank or the finance company at a cheap price. I think there should be a follow-up there as to see what's going on, because these vulture funds do not operate to the deal that was done between whether it was the person that bought a house and ran into health problems, whether it was the person that was trying to improve his lot as a farmer, buying a piece of land to try to increase his income, to try to stay on the land. They did a deal with a financial company in Ireland, more so than anywhere else, with AIB or Bank of Ireland or whoever, and these accounts were sold to these vulture funds. I think they should be followed up, Minister. All right, Minister. Look, but again, the other thing that I should mention, Minister, is the enforcement, the corporate enforcement, did not always help people when someone went into trouble and went bankrupt. They didn't help the people that were on the ground, that lost their money, maybe 20, 60, 70, 80 and 90,000 euros. Instead, they went on the side of the developer or the businessman that went broke, and more helped him than those ordinary people that lost all the money they were owed. And I have no problem in the world in backing that statement up anywhere. Well, anywhere.